In continuation with this chapter, now let's study another topic, that is magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is a scalar quantity and it is denoted by phi magnetic field. It has only magnitude and unit, and it is defined as, for any surface, the surface may be regular or irregular in shape. That is, it may be uniform or curved. The amount of magnetic field lines passing through that particular surface and surface is of any shape. It can be in shape of a rectangle, square, triangle, or in the form of a loop. And it is also defined in the same manner as what we had studied in chapter number 1 for electric flux. That is, electric flux is defined as the number of electric field lines passing through a particular area placed in a uniform or non-uniform electric field, and it is given by dot product of electric field and area vector. Similarly, we can define magnetic flux, that is the number of magnetic field lines passing through a particular area, and it is the dot product of magnetic field and area vector. Thus, it is also defined as the dot product of magnetic field and area vector. And as it's a dot product, thus it follows commutative law. That is, B dot A vector is equal to A vector dot B vector. Or we can write magnetic flux is equal to magnitude of area vector, magnitude of magnetic field, cos theta. By this, we can also define the definition of magnetic flux, that is, it is defined as the product of area of a surface and component of magnetic field. And the component is B cos theta, which is along the direction of area vector, that is, which is normal to the surface. Let us consider a uniform magnetic field. In which an area is placed direction of area vector is perpendicular to this area, and this is the magnetic field. Magnetic field is making an angle theta with area vector. Thus phi magnetic field is equal to B vector dot A vector. Now here why we are using dot product only, not cross product, or why we are using the component of magnetic field only, not the component of area vector? The answer is we are using here dot product because we are finding the amount of magnetic field lines crossing this area in the direction of area vector. So we want the component of magnetic field lines crossing or piercing the area, that is, it is B cos theta. We have studied in class 11th about the projection, that is, let the two vectors are placed at an angle theta with each other, then the projection of one onto the other is B cos theta. Opposite to theta is perpendicular, and this is 90 degree. Opposite to 90 is the longer side, that is hypotenuse. Therefore this is base, and thus it is the component, horizontal component, that is B cos theta. And we want this B cos theta component, magnetic field component, in the direction of area vector. That's why we are using B cos theta component and dot product. Now some special cases. First is if area vector is placed parallel to magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. If the area is placed parallel, then its area vector is perpendicular outward, and this is making an angle 90 degree with magnetic field. This is area vector and this is magnetic field. Or we can write magnitude of magnetic field and area vector cos 90 degree. Cos 90 is 0. Therefore, number of magnetic field lines passing through this area is 0. That is minimum. Second case is when angle between area vector and magnetic field is 0 degree. That is, area is placed perpendicular to uniform magnetic field. Direction of area vector is along the direction of magnetic field, making an angle of 0 degree. Therefore, flux passing is maximum equal to magnitude of area vector and magnetic field, as cos 0 is 1. As we have studied that magnetic flux is a scalar quantity, thus it has no direction, but the flux which is going into the surface is considered as negative, and the flux which is coming out of the surface is considered as positive. That is, if consider a surface which has outward area vector is A vector, and it is making an angle theta with uniform magnetic field. And let us suppose this is the inward flux which is at 180 degree with the outward flux, and the magnetic field is making an angle theta with area vector, that is with outward flux. Thus the magnetic field will make an angle 180 degree minus theta with inward flux. Thus we can say that the flux coming out of the surface, that is outward flux, is considered as positive. That is, it is equal to AB cos theta. And the flux which is going into the surface we have studied it in electrostatics also for electric field or electric flux, that is inward flux, is considered as negative because cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. Now let's study about the magnetic flux which is passing through non-uniform surface. Consider any arbitrary lamina which has any shape and as the area elements are of different shapes or sizes, thus the magnetic field lines passing through that area are also changed. That is varying magnetic field. Thus the magnetic flux is equal to dot product of magnetic field passing through area element 1, magnetic field passing through area element 2, and so on. And we can write summation for complete surface, and it is given as Bi dot area vector I. And if here summation all is the sum of all area element, now if area element are very small, then we use integration instead of summation. Therefore, magnetic flux for varying magnetic field is given as integration, that is surface integration of magnetic field over the entire surface, that is A, is given as B vector dot dA vector. Integration we use for small area elements. Units of magnetic flux. Its SI unit is Weber. Weber is the name of a scientist, thus we are writing it in full. Thus start from small letter Weber, and its abbreviation is capital W small b, or also known as Tesla meter square. That is 1 Weber is equal to 1 Tesla meter square. Or its SI unit is, its CGS unit is Maxwell, abbreviated as MX, and 1 Weber is equal to 10 raised to the power 8 Maxwell. Its dimension is as magnetic flux is AB cos theta, or we have studied that force is equivalent to QVB. Therefore, B is equal to F by QV, charge into velocity, and therefore flux is equal to area into force by QV. Theta is dimensionless. Now write the dimensions. This implies area is L square, force is M1 L1 T minus 2, charge is ampere into time, velocity is Lt minus 1. L and L cancel out, T minus 1 and T. Here we are remain with M1, L2, T minus 2, A minus 1. This is the dimension of magnetic flux. And we can further convert it into volts second. That is, we have studied that the dimension of energy is M1 L2 T minus 2 and the unit of energy is joule. Therefore, joule per ampere we can write as magnetic flux, or ampere in terms of charge and time can be written as joule per coulomb per second, that is joule second, and we have studied that joule per coulomb is potential, that is volt into second. Therefore, unit of magnetic flux is also volt second.